Can you imagine, for a second, not doing background checks on, let's say, someone that you were going to hire if you were in a very high position and you had a high sensitive job? Can you imagine not doing any background looking into the person who might come in as an au pair or a nanny for your children? Can you imagine either one of those things? And yet, in this country, so many of you out there who support Trump just don't even remotely seem to care, regardless of the age of the Doge boys, that, yeah, they're going to have access to all sorts of sensitive information and U.S. Treasury stuff, but did we actually do any background checks on them?
Come to work for the federal government. If you're a cabinet official, you have to go through these big hearings. A lot of people have to go through background checks. A lot of people have to go through security checks. They get security clearance. What kind of background checks or transparency into the background of Mr. Musk or the people that are working for him has been done? Do you know, Mr. Dubois? Mr. Sepp, do you know how these people were vetted?
No.
Mr. Lodwood, do you know how they were vetted?
No.
Ms. Kochelicek, do you know how they were vetted?
We have not looked at these specific individuals.
Ms. Olson, do you know how they were vetted?
No.
What kind of access does Mr. Musk and his team have? What kind of changes have they been making to the computer programs? Mr. Dubois, what's he doing?
I don't know what he's doing.
You don't know.
I
Okay.
think he's
Mr.
looking
Sepp, do you
at.
know what he's doing?
No.
Mr. Lodwood, do you know what he's doing?
It would be inappropriate for me for comment on
Ms.
it.
Kochelicek, do you know what he's doing?
We have not looked at that.
Ms. Olson?
No.
Does anybody here know what they're doing? Does anybody know what their backgrounds are? Does anybody know what they're doing with the information that they have and how they're using it? I agree with my colleagues who noted before that Mr. Littlejohn, who disclosed this information, is a criminal and deserves to be in jail, and I'm happy that he's been prosecuted. And anybody who has violated 6103, that takes private data and shares it with other people, should be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. We're all for finding cost efficiencies. I know Mr. Bean, for example, has the Doge Committee. That's a great thing for us to look for efficiencies, to root out waste, fraud, and abuse. But there's a pesky thing, called the United States Constitution.
The level of hypocrisy, the twister game that you have to put yourself through to in any way, shape, form, or fashion justify that is honestly disgusting. This is the problem where there are dozens and dozens and hundreds of things that are not political. I am a registered independent, but I am sick to death of this kind of crap going on a regular basis. Unacceptable, period, full stop.